Anyway, welcome back to Survivor Tocantins.
Tocantins.
Last episode, what happened?
Spencer got voted out.
Spencer got voted out a very ho-hum.
The most
Yeah.
very, very rote Survivor episode.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I do want to mention, at the time of this video, the most recent one that's been uploaded is the Sandy Gets Outpaced episode.
Yep.
I wanted to mention that Chase Ferrier left a comment, and he said that the
yeah.
pace idol was only valid for the first tribal that they went to. And if this is true, that just blows the whole thing wide open, and our whole pace conversation out the window.
That's kind of stupid, actually.
I guess if that's the case, though, the idea is just to give them a little, because they had the bad first impression.
Yeah. Right.
They have a chance.
Right.
So
it didn't end up being all that.
So our whole bit about her not checking on what a pace is this whole time.
Yeah.
That wore off the first time they went.
Well, it was a fun runner. I don't know. I had fun with it. I was making jokes about it with you before when we were recording other videos for the channel just before. So
yeah,
I love it. I think it's a fun joke.
I literally
think about it.
Did it say that in the writing in the clue? I didn't know.
Maybe I don't remember. I don't remember that being said, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
because weren't they looking for it after that too?
They were, but it could have been before they went to their tribal council.
Oh, it's because they had not been to tribal council. Yeah, okay. That makes sense why they're not still looking for it then.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take your word for it, Chase.
Okay.
Mr. All-Stars, my favorite.
Mr.
Oh, he did, it's a random time to bring it up, but he did mention, because at the time when we were reading the comments, most recently, he was like, I left my ranking of the seasons is under one of the the videos. I was like, yeah, you're right. I just didn't see that for some reason.
Oh, well, let's do it. Let's note it here and note it. Don't have a whole lot else to talk about that episode.
Okay, here we go. So yeah, if you don't know, every season of Survivor we do the review at the end of the season, and now we've started to rank. Well, we always rank every season and rank every winner as the seasons go. And then Chase has been leading his rankings alongside us as we go on. So S tier for Chase, All Stars Micronesia. It's a very exclusive club, All Stars Micronesia.
Yeah.
It's the two returning players seasons.
Yeah.
And then we have A tier is Pearl Islands, Amazon. B, Borneo, Palau, China, Vanuatu. C, Panama, Cook Islands, Marquesas. D, Australia, Africa, Gabon, Guatemala. F, Fiji, Thailand. All right. So, Gabon coming in really low, 14 out of 17 there. But it kind of, I feel like yours wasn't that far off. It just wasn't a D tier.
Yeah.
I know with how the numbers pick up.
Not a Fiji fan either, I see.
Mm-hmm. In his winner rankings, S tier, Richard, Tom. A tier, Brian, Earl, Parvati, Chris. B tier, Todd, Yule. C tier, Tina, Vesepia, Sandra. D tier, Aris, Ethan, Danny. F tier, Amber, Jenna, Bob.
It's Bob. The Bob Dog. No, that's not Bob Dog.
That's fair. I think like Bob, you can make a case for like third from the bottom right now at the most. So he's down there. Yeah.
Bob's just kind of there.
I feel like I think people commented on were a little harsh on as far as Amber, her ranking is. And I forget if we ended up putting Bob above Amber or not. But if I did, then I definitely would say Amber is above Bob, because like she was safe like almost the entire game, and she was with Rob making decisions. Rob got most of the credit for it, but yeah. So maybe a little harsh putting Amber in F tier. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not an interesting game. That's all.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, that's it. That's it for the previous episode.
I mean, it's like, well, what else we? There's nothing really interesting. We don't need to recap a whole lot. I mean, there's some. I guess there's some stuff where they're sort of like, how was it here? Oh, well, coach predicted the weather in a comedic bit. There was that. There's something where they know the strategy or whatever. They were like, oh, we think that.
Yeah, Tyson was like,
We think Tyson
yeah,
is,
I
like,
think
figuring out.
he's making.
Oh, they peg Brendan's strategy. That's where it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they don't tell Sierra. They sort of say so. Like, they're kind of trying to do a thing here. So
We'll see. But also, yeah, we skipped the previous episode because it's another one of those first 15 days with never before seen footage mixed in. This was the most tempting one for us to actually watch because it could have had some juicy coach tempting moments in there. So if anyone,
I might go back and watch it maybe at some point. I don't know.
If anyone commented like, "No, please watch it," just know we did not see it because we're a couple episodes ahead of when they're uploaded. But if so, maybe it's worth going back to. We'll see. Mm-hmm. But as we're gonna keep with our tradition of skipping over it so we can get to the meat of it because we do one episode a week. If you wanna, we don't want to have to spend a whole week on recapping previous stuff. If we don't have to. Mm-hmm. So,
all right,
let's get into it. We're up to episode 7 now. All right, as always, you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of our reaction and then come back afterwards for the discussion. All right. There you have it. It's Sydney voted out Survivor Tocantins.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of spice and intrigue towards the end, somewhat,
Yeah.
As much as there can be, given the circumstances. But
ultimately, our trio that we've been following so much, they prevail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they even talked earlier on in the episode about like, oh, are we going to loop JT in? We don't know if we're going to loop him in or not. And then by necessity, they sort of have to because he goes snooping.
Yeah, Taj wanted to tell him about her idol, completely unprompted. And then Steven's like, nah, maybe not. And then JT finds it on his own. And then Steven's like, I'm thinking maybe we should tell him. I think maybe we should tell him now, yeah. So it was a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, a little bit of a mess. But it's fun. It was fun, though. He wasn't suspicious at all. Steven, I didn't feel like Steven did a very good job, at least from what we saw, of like being convincing that he didn't know about it already. But apparently he bought it, so,
It was enough.
There it is. It was enough.
So the only little bit that we got from the other tribe was a little bit in the beginning.
Beans. Coach burning some beans. Yeah. Coach and his beans. And then Coach was like, who cares about the beans? And it's like, you do. You're the one that made all the whole thing about the beans at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He is a walking contradiction, that man. He's just like one giant hypocrite. I don't know. He criticizes people for caring about things that he obviously cares about, and then says like, I don't care about them. What do you mean? Gaslighter extraordinaire.
Now we get to see a whole new group of people interact with him in the merge here.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. He kind of goes off on Sierra because she's like, yeah, I'm upset about the beans, just like you would be if any of us did. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah, unfortunately, we don't get the cute 5-on-5 even numbers going into the merge. So we got 4 against 6 here.
So it'll be a little tough going in, but what with Taj and Steven got their alliance with Sierra and Brendan, there might be a little something going on there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a little something cooking.
Could be.
Yep.
Yeah, the pig tossing challenge. That was pretty neat.
It's fun. I kind of like that. Yeah, I like how they have to making a barricade like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool little challenge.
And then the second challenge, to use slingshot, and that could have been better, but It's the Angry
Yeah,
Birds theme. You have the pigs, and then you have the
the
slingshot
pigs in the
for the second
slingshot. Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, they were really trying to tie it into the theme of Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Clearly, as we could see, it was everywhere. It was all over this episode. Yeah, I mean that's about it. I mean, there was another thing with Coach being like, "Yeah, Aaron got taken by Joe. I would prefer that anyway. This
Mm-hmm.
is the group I want here."
Because she's lucky
So
to
that was
even
the
be
thing.
here still.
She's lucky to even still be here. Yeah. So Aaron and Joe go to exile,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and Joe gets
Joe brings out
fake
all the
immunity.
charm. All
He
the
he
charm.
rizzes her up.
You can just see it. You can
Not
see
really,
it.
but
Yeah.
um,
Yep, follows the clues, but Taj
yeah.
was wise to realize, oh, he'll have all the clues. So
Yeah.
I really need to
So
put something there.
she whipped up a fake idol real quick and put it in the spot, and so yeah, and he seemed to buy it pretty much. Like
All it
he's like,
takes.
yeah, here it is, boom, there it is,
Boom.
the real immunity idol, boom, right there.
It's like,
All
damn, these
right,
guys didn't
he
read
bought
these
it.
clues at all. Shoot, this is easy.
Yeah, yeah.
The
So
last clue literally says it's up the tiki's
yeah, it's
ass.
in the skirt. Yeah, the last
How'd they not
clue,
find it?
it's at tree mail. Look behind on the tiki.
Yeah.
Like, damn, no suspicion whatsoever about any of that. He's just like, yeah, well, I guess you didn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Pretty good episode. Nothing crazy.
yeah, I mean, it was kind of like there wasn't anything too like wild or insane, but
It's our
we
coach
got a nice,
ratio again. It's the
yeah,
amount of coach per episode. It's
right,
that's the
low coach,
the spice.
yeah, low coach tolerance on this one, and but overall, we had a little strategy, a little back and forth, having to loop, kind of like hijinks ensuing where you have to loop a guy in because he
Yeah.
found out your scheme sort of, but not really like too. They
Yeah.
were able to loop him in such a way that didn't make him like suspicious of them or anything.
Why was it she just left the idol on the top of her bag though?
Yeah, why
Not
would you do
not
that?
good. Not
That
good
was that
form.
was, that was boneheaded.
But it seems like that trio at least is solid, and then Joe's kind of
Yeah,
tagging along because now he lost out
yeah,
on Sydney here.
yeah. Joe, you could have saved Sydney with that idol. Why didn't you give it to her? You
Yeah.
he didn't know. He didn't get it. But yeah, there you go.
There you go. Who would you give your MVP for the episode?
Man, MVP JT.
JT.
And JT was pretty solid this episode. I mean, coming in and discovering the idol was kind of a big deal that looped him in on the whole thing. Something that was kind of up in the air whether or not they were going to do that or not. Trying his best on the slingshot, just not really quite getting it together there.
Yeah, they nearly lost both challenges actually. Now that I think about it,
Yeah,
back and
yeah,
forth on the pig tossing right down the wire. And then that puzzle seemed pretty
and the
close
puzzles.
too.
Yeah, the puzzle did look pretty close. So,
Unfortunate. But yeah,
but then he was sort of the deciding factor at the end there. Like he was maybe considering, yeah, maybe we could turn on Taj. It might not be a bad idea. We have the idol, so we could do that theoretically.
it was probably the best play though, keeping Taj, right?
Yeah. Okay, you don't want to, because if you have an alliance with 3 people, you don't want to like throw that away for, you don't know what Joe or Sydney or
clearly Sydney's closer to Joe, so Taj will
Yeah.
definitely be closer to you two. Plus she has the idol. Technically,
Right.
Steven had the idol, but they can only use the idol.
Right.
And then she does have the links to the people on the other tribe, which so if they're coming in low in numbers, that might be necessary.
Right, and I think that was her making her case about that at tribal was good, and JT probably took that into consideration probably when he was making his vote.
Sydney's saying like, I'm loyal. This is all I got. It's okay, but if we just ride that to our doom, then
yeah, it's like, all right, this is all
we can't operate it with just what we have. We literally can't.
because we're going in at weaker numbers. Like,
I guess you could just be like, okay, we'll have our 4 and try to swing over 2 people, but
yeah. But it's like, why not? Why have you have an insurance? You have insurance with Taj though, in a way,
Yeah,
right?
at
Same,
least more
but
of a chance there. Yeah.
more of a chance, yeah. So, yeah,
There you have it.
there you have it.
Come back next week for another episode of Survivor every week here on the
Uh-huh.
channel. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you go check out our review of Little Nightmares, a little horror themed video game.
Very
Very nice.
good. Very good
Cool.
stuff.
We have a variety of stuff, content on the channel, reviews, movies, games,
Enormous.
television,
Enormous
fun
variety.
random shenanigans, different challenges, games, and Survivor every week. All right, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment below, and as always, I'll curate it. Alec doesn't read the comments, so you can talk about whatever you want, and then I'll pass along any relevant information. All right.
Right. Good stuff.
And take care.
All right.